So we continue the review of Zlotnik Middlegame Manual with a game on the isolated queen pawn where the plan is to advance the isolated queen pawn. The game is by Petrosian, a great win. Okay, so this is game 10 of the book, Tigran Petrosian against Yuri Balashov. It was played in the Soviet Union, 1974. This is a modern treatment of the typical IQP, isolated queen pawn, okay? c4, knight f6, knight c3, e6, d4, bishop take b4, e3, c5, bishop d3, d5, knight f3, castle, castle, d takes c4, bishop takes c4, knight c6, and bishop d3. Nowadays the main line, it says, is a3, queen, bishop a5, or bishop takes c3, okay? So it's not anymore bishop d3. c takes d4, e takes d4, and we have the isolated queen pawn. Bishop e7, rook e1, a3. So here it says the problem is that white has lost 3 tempi with his king's bishop compared to black's 2. For this reason, the stereotype plan of bishop g5, bishop b7, sorry, it seems when he played rook e1, I didn't play b6. That's very strange. I thought I did it. Okay, b6, a3. So he says, for this reason, the stereotype plan of bishop g5, bishop b7, a queen e2 does not work here due to the capture on d4. So tack, tack, tack. According to Stockfish, after knight e5, let's see what happens after knight e5. No, sorry, it says 12 knight e5 instead, so we have to go back, and instead of f3 we have, so we had, this is the plan. He said this doesn't work because you take this, obviously, because the queen is not there anymore, so you cannot really give a discovery check. If the queen was here, obviously if he takes, the problem is tack, and tack, and tack, okay, and you lose the queen. So okay, that's probably not working at all. Let's see what it works, okay? Yeah, so let's go back, okay. So Stockfish instead thinks knight e5, sorry, bishop b7, bishop a6. Oh my god, Stockfish, it's amazing. Bishop takes a6, knight takes e6, queen e8, knight takes c7, wow, queen takes c7, and d5, and white has a slight advantage. Beautiful, yeah. Okay, in any case, this plan doesn't, I don't know, probably it works for Stockfish, but we are not Stockfish. Generally, we are not Stockfish. The thing was here, and there was anything else? No, nothing else, if I got it right. Let's hope so. Okay, so he played instead a3. Okay, sorry, this was here. a3, bishop b7, bishop c2. So this is the battery. Again, a3 is played to avoid this. Okay, so now we understand what's going on here practically. So after rook e1 and b6, white played a3. Once he plays this a3, you know immediately that the reason is because he wants to play this. Okay, and try to give checkmate here. So a3, bishop b7, bishop c2. The other retreat of a bishop retains the option of redeploying on a2. So instead of c2, b1, because then he would go here, okay? And it gives you a line that comes from a game that was played. That's interesting. So bishop b1 was played in 1975 between Gligoric and Furman. Gligoric, famous Yugoslavian champion. Furman was the trainer of Karpov trainer. Okay, so bishop c2, rook c8. This is still the main line, although Stockfish prefer knight a5. Okay, and it gives here a kind of long line. It says that, however, it was also played between Timan and Karpov in 1998. Knight a5. Okay, so clearly this line of an Inso-Indian, because to me this seems the Inso-Indian, the Rubinstein variation. But here it says Taras defense. Okay, so it was a Taras defense. This line of the Taras defense is still fought today, because there are examples of Korobyov versus Karyakin in 2019, and also other years. And the engine, everything is controlled with the engine. So the good thing of the book is showing you lines that the engine today would make you play. Obviously, to me, that is a little too much, because I honestly will not remember the stuff. We are at move 14. In tournament, you need to remember that, but I don't know if you're not a young chess player or a professional young chess player. I don't know if you really remember it. In any case, in this game between Petrosian and Balashov, Queen d3 was played, Rook e8, and this is a mistake. Okay, this Rook e8 is a mistake. Can you try to find the right move for black? The right move is g6. Can you imagine? g6. That, however, transpose in a line given one move before. So I will not repeat it, but if you get the book you will see all this line. Notice that, however, there are other moves that maintain the balance. Knight b8 is one of them, so also that can be interesting, and even rook c7. I think rook c7 is because it helps to control the 7th rank, and this is an idea that sometimes is employed by engines. So I hope you will start to appreciate some of the moves because they are played by engines, and that's how some top professional chess players know when they are playing an engine, because strangely some of the moves they know where they come from. Okay, now after rook e8, that is a mistake, it's your turn. Pause the video and try to find what you would play as white for winning this game. Okay, it's a typical sacrifice we could see, and this is thematic of this, but it's also part of a thing. As I told you, this is a plan B, opening the game by advancing the isolated pawn. So in another video we saw plan A, now we have plan B. Notice there is plan C and plan D for the side that has the isolated pawn. So the right move is d5. Okay, d5 is double exclam, black takes. And after the text move, white has a score of 90%. Oh my god. So 90% it means that out of 100 games, white wins 90. Wow. Bishop g5, 94. And notice, in case you want to try it, this at this point loses. Why? Because after this move there is immediately rook takes e7, queen takes e7, and knight takes d5. So this is the reason g6 now at this point doesn't work anymore. Knight takes e4, d takes e4, queen takes e4, still threatening the checkmate, because once you move here it gives checkmate here. g6 and queen h4. Clearly white doesn't give up. If you take, it takes with the knight. But let's see, because this is interesting. That's what I said, right? Let's see. The three main alternatives are 19 bishop takes g5, h5, okay, and queen d7. So let's see this one. Bishop takes g5, knight takes g5, h5, queen f4, rook e7, bishop b3, queen f8, rook takes e7, queen takes e7, knight takes e7, so it's going to be a problem where to put this. Sorry, knight takes f7, rook f8, rook d1, knight a5, bishop a2, bishop c6, knight e5 check, king g7, and queen g3, with a decisive advantage to white. This was played in the game Del Rio de Angelis Perez Candelario Linares 2018. It is curious that 1 year later the recently crowned 12th world champion Anatoly Karpov fell into the same trap as Balashov, who was one of his seconds. Oh my god, that's funny. But the difference is that this comes from the game Portish Karpov Milan 1975, but Karpov was able to save the day and the game ended in a draw. We will definitely see that game, because what I'm working on is really something about that. It's about this tournament, the tournament, international tournament of Milano in 1975. I have commented a good part of the games, obviously now with engines, change a lot because I would like to make a book out of it, but of course time it is what it is, so I need a little more time. But this is kind of very interesting, because as you can see we can connect the dots that it was played, this kind of isolated queen pawn, in many top games, and I don't know, it seems that luck exists in in chess, because Karpov fell, he was black, he fell in the same thing, but Portish, that was also a top player, wasn't able to deliver. He finished with a draw when he could have won. Okay, so let me pause and return back. By the way, there was the Queen d7 line that maybe is the best one of the three that he gave, okay? Because he said bishop takes g5, h5 and Queen d7. Queen d7 was the best, from what I can see. Please buy the book and see it for yourself. Now let me put back the position as it was. Okay, so we should be in this position if I put it back correctly. If not, feel free to complain, no problem. We were at move 19 in this game. This was the one played. We just analyzed this because I was really curious to see how you win the attack in that. I think I should see it a couple of more times because it's not so easy as it seems, but clearly Petrosian was strong in calculation. And as you can remember, it seems that this was the same move used by Karpov in a game Portish-Karpov in 1975, but Karpov was able to draw because Portish was not precise enough in his play. Okay, so it's kind of interesting because Karpov, Portish, they were in that time 2600 rated player, and that was the top in that time. Okay, today is 2800, but in that time it was that. Okay, sorry. Queen c7 played this and loses by force. It said in the comment, how does he lose it by force? Let's see it. Bishop b3, trapping this. Generally also this become kind of sketchy. h5, Queen e4, attacking this because this is a pin. King g7, protecting it. But white, boom. And this is a funny story that I can tell you, and is the following. Botvinnik said, if Tal sacrifice something, take it and then you will figure it out. If I, Botvinnik, sacrifice something, maybe you take it, maybe not, you need to figure it out. If Petrosian sacrifice something, resign, because you are sure that you are going to lose. Because obviously Petrosian didn't really sacrifice without any reason. When he sacrificed, he was 100% sure that he was bringing the point home. And so this is the case. King takes f7, bishop h6, bishop d6, attacking. This is clearly made to restrict the black king on the dark square, so the queen can work on the other squares. Knight g5, king f6, and knight h7, and here at this point the mate is forced, so you cannot escape that. He cannot go here, he cannot go here, oh, he cannot go here, 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 so he cannot go here. The only square he can go is here, right? So how do you give a checkmate here? That's a good question. Let's see. Okay. Okay, I pause a second on the video to see. Obviously is not here because the only square that I can see is this, where you give a checkmate. It's still not a checkmate, okay, because black can play this, and then there is this move, and it is a checkmate, okay, because the king cannot go anywhere else. So a beautiful game by Petrosian, and this, as I repeat, was plan B, opening the game by advancing the isolated pawn. We still have plan C, advancing the isolated pawn in order to fix an enemy pawn on an adjacent file, and then there is also plan D, developing activity on the queen side. Let me show you the game on planning C because I think it's important in the next video.